computer. And I'm going to share my screen just for a hot, quick second, and then I will get to the point of today. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I just wanted to welcome Alyssa to the team. She has been a challenger for a little bit, but she decided to come on as a coach. I'm so excited to have her here. I don't think she jumped on tonight, but if she does decide to watch the recording, welcome, Alyssa. It's still only the 11th, and guys, that's like half of the month. Like, there's still so much time left for us to run a free group or to reach out to people or do different things. So definitely I encourage running the free groups. I'm actually running one this week for Prego Mamas, and then next week I'm running a Mommy and Me one. So I'll be sharing like toddler activities and like different ways that you can work out with your kiddos and stuff, which I'm trying to incorporate some Beachbody into, but also just build trust and stuff. So one.
I'm going out with them. We need a partner for me and Dad.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, so I have been I have not been watching. I've been reading Girl Stop Apologizing. I know a lot of you have been reading Girl Stop Apologizing. I just wanted to drill something into all of your heads that I read last night that I was like, everybody needs to know this. So you are in control of your schedule. In fact, there isn't one thing in your life or your calendar right now that you didn't allow to be there. Your job, the fact that you can't eat, like whatever it is, like that's on you. So the question is never, do you have enough time? The question is, how are you using the time that you do have? So obviously we are all busy. Some of us are teachers. Some of us are moms. Some of us are just having like busy lives. And I thought this tied in perfectly with Dylan speaking tonight, because she is a mama to two, under two, and she was a full-time teacher. She's now a part-time teacher. So without further ado, I'll get into Dylan being next. So Dylan has been coaching for 2.5 years. She's a 3-star in her first business center and then a 1-star in her second business center. She is a Success Club All-Star. She was a premier coach last year, which is so incredible. And then she was a full-time teacher, right? And then this year you went part-time, and then now you might not be going back next year is what I hear. So I will, without further ado, hand it over to Dylan. Let me just stop my screen share so that you guys can see her and not me. I did this last week too. Stop share. Okay. All you, girl.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just telling my husband, I was like, I really need a new computer. I got this one like a year ago, but I've like totally broken something on it. So my sound like goes in and out. So if you guys can't hear me at some point, just like wave your hands or something. So I was going to start just with a little bit of background and kind of telling my story. And then I was going to give you guys 5 tips to kind of move your business forward, 5 things that have really worked for me and that I share with my team. So a little bit about me. I was/am a teacher. This is my 6th year teaching. I started coaching, it was in the middle of the summer. My husband and I were trying to get pregnant, and it wasn't happening. And like month after month after month of it not happening, I was just getting like really down. And I'm one of those people, when I decide that I want something or like I'm ready for something, then I like want it to happen right then. Like I have the worst patience ever. And so I was like so hyper focused on like trying to start our family, and with it being summer and him coaching, because he's a PE coach, but he does a bunch of like track and all different sports coachings and summer camps and stuff. I was like literally twiddling my thumbs and like going crazy. And so I ended up joining in and starting coaching, and it was summertime. So I was like, needed something else to kind of like focus my energy on. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to start coaching, and I was like a nervous wreck about it, but I was like, you know what, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go all in. And so that's pretty much been my mindset since I started, was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going all in, and the only way it's not going to work out is if it's not meant to be. But if I'm seriously 100%, like literally pouring everything into this, then there's no reason it shouldn't be working. So fast forward since then, we went through fertility treatments and ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, Raleigh. And then when she was 15 weeks old, we found out that we were pregnant with another baby. And we were told like our chances of getting pregnant were less than 3%. And so they wanted us to go straight to IVF, but we ended up doing IUI first because it's way cheaper. Still thousands of dollars, but way cheaper. So we did that, and we were in between rounds, got pregnant with Raleigh, got pregnant with Baker. So here I am now, and they're 11 months apart, and I'm able to work part-time now, and then I'll be staying home next year full-time. So super exciting, and honestly something that would not have happened if it hadn't been for coaching. With my husband being a teacher and me being a teacher, those salaries do not combine to make any type of income that really supports anybody. So that's my story, like quick, short, and sweet. But the biggest thing, like once I decided that I wanted to do this and that I was going to do this and I was going to pour all into it, that's what I did. So my first tip for you guys is just to find your why. And you'll hear other coaches talk about this all the time, like, why are you doing this? Find your reason. We tell our challengers that all the time too, like, why are you in this group? Why are you doing these workouts? What is your goal? So we tell our challengers that, but it's the exact same thing for you guys. Like your why for this business, it can change depending on your season, but your why for this business needs to be bigger than any excuse that you have. Because if your why isn't big enough, then when life gets tough or things are crazy or you're going through a season of life where things are kind of getting harder, then you're going to stop pushing. But if your why is big enough, then even in those hard, tough seasons, you're going to push through and you're going to make it happen. So that's kind of what I get my girls to do is like write it down. I don't know if you guys have the Rise Up planners, Rise Up journals. Do you guys have those? Yes, that has been like a game changer for a lot of my team because it's got that vision, those vision pages for each quarter, and like reading that every single morning, like remembering why you're doing this, or like thinking about what it will feel like when you hit your goal, what it's going to look like, kind of like building that whole entire vision and reading that every single day helps too. So every single morning I start with that, like reading my vision, and then I'll like dive into my actual work. And then another big thing is just that discipline. So I know that life gets hard, or like there's days where babies are sick, or your alarm didn't go off, or like things at work have been insane and you're just like in a terrible mood now. Maybe you're PMSing and you just feel awful. But having that discipline to get your work done is what's going to help you succeed. I heard this quote before that was, and I share it with my girls all the time, like I overshare it, but you literally need to make your business actions like brushing your teeth. So even if you're sick, you're still going to brush your teeth. Even if you're running late for work, you're still going to brush your teeth. So it's the exact same thing. If you want to succeed in this business, you have to do it even when things are hard or like it's a difficult season. You just still have to do it every single day. So then my next one is just to be consistent. So it kind of goes along with that. I don't know if you guys have read Miracle Morning, but it is one of my favorite books. I have it on Audible. If any of you guys want it, I can send it to you for free. You can send a free book. You have to kind of fast forward because his voice is like a little bit slow. You have to kind of like speed him up, but it's so good and it's super motivating. But like setting that morning routine, that was huge for me and still is huge for me with two littles, or like while I was teaching full time, because that's my time. Like first thing in the morning is my predictable time. Like my alarm goes off at 4 and no, I don't really want to get up. But then when I remember why I'm doing this and what my vision is, then that is so motivating to me. I'm like, no, you're getting up. The rest of the day is unpredictable. Like if it's a day where I'm going to work, then I have no time during the day to do any coach work. If it's a day that I'm home, who knows if they're going to nap, Baker naps, but who knows if Raleigh is going to nap that day? Like I have no idea. So getting up early is huge. With my team, we have a Zoom call that's like just set for the mornings. Every single morning it runs like 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. So like anybody in all different time zones and stuff can hop on. But that's huge too. And like we hop on and everybody's muted. So you don't have to talk. You can unmute yourself. Like we're literally usually just sitting there, like sipping our Energize or coffee or something and just getting work done. But it's nice knowing other people are getting up with you. But that has been like a game changer for me. And I had a whole entire like system typed up when I was working full time. That was like all those things that are like vital to moving your business forward. So like the first thing that I always do is obviously like I'll do my devotional. I usually have some kind of personal development playing while I'm working. But my biggest thing is sending out invites, which goes into my next point. But don't be afraid to send out invites. Like that is the biggest thing that's going to move your business forward is inviting people. And I was even looking back, like from when I first started, can you see me? I just had a one pop up. From when I first started coaching and the invites that I was sending out, it was like, reach out to 5 people. I don't know, like my numbers just seemed so small then. And it took me a little while to really like build momentum in my business. And looking at that now, I'm like, well, no wonder I wasn't building momentum in my business because if I was reaching out to 5 people, odds are none of them are going to join in. If you reach out to 10 people, you'll maybe have one person say that they're interested. But if you reach out to 25, 30 people every single day, then you're going to get 3 to 5 that are interested and probably 1 or 2 that actually sign up. So the more people that you're reaching out to and inviting, the more you're going to actually have join in. So for my miracle mornings, every morning, that's the first thing I do is send out my invite. So I've got like my number for the day and I invite, and I will have something to invite from. So if I posted a story the day before where I'm talking about a challenge group, then I'll go to that story, I'll see everybody who watched it, and then I invite whatever my number was. So like if it's during a season where I'm really like pushing for a rank, then my number will be higher. So let's say like my number is 60. So I'm going to find 60 people that watch that. And I'm just going to say, hey, I saw that you were watching my story. I was wondering if you would be interested in joining in for my March group. I'm about to close enrollment. Can I send you more info? And I'm just going to send that to 60 of those people. If maybe I posted a Transformation Tuesday, anybody who likes that picture, I'm going to reach out to them and invite them. So that's what I do first thing in the morning is make sure I get those invites done because that is the biggest thing that's going to bring in challengers, bring in coaches, bring anybody into your business. Do I start with invites or do we make connections? I start with invites. And I've shared that like on my lives and stuff before, because Thursday nights I go live every Thursday and I answer questions about coaching or challenge groups or anything. And so I had somebody ask that was another coach before. I invite and then that's how I build a relationship. So if somebody's been watching my stories or they're following me or they're liking my pictures, then they already see what I'm doing. So it shouldn't be a shock to them that I'm inviting. And I will never invite someone that's not following me, not looking at my stuff. Like I won't just cold invite someone that doesn't even know who I am. But anybody who sees my stuff or is following along with me, then to me, they're in my business. Like I'm going to invite them to join in. And like the worst thing that's going to happen is they say no. And I just say, okay, that's totally fine. Just let me know when you're ready. And then I'll probably reach out to them again next month. But there's no, I don't know, like I used to be so hesitant to invite people. And that's why I'm so big on just like telling people just do it. Because that was like one of my biggest fears starting out was like, but what if somebody says no? Or what if They think that I'm being salesy, or I don't know, like any of those fears that are super common that I hear about all the time. But if they're following along with you, you should be sharing enough about what you're doing and about your group and about coaching that if you are to reach out to them and invite them, it doesn't seem totally out of the blue. But that's why I'll focus on like who's watching my stories. If somebody's watching my stories, they see me working out every day. They see me sharing about coaching. They see me sharing about my groups. So if I invite them, it's not totally out of left field because they've seen me doing it. Okay, so finding your why, be consistent. Don't be afraid to invite. And okay, my next one is to make it like a party. Like you need to create that kind of FOMO with your business. Share about your challenge groups. Share about the success that other people in your challenge groups are having. Share about coaching. I think that's one of the things that some people kind of miss out on. Like either they're sharing too specifically, like stock pictures and stuff like that, or they're not sharing enough about what they're actually doing coaching. So like sharing that you're on a team call. Every single time that you guys get on a team call, you should be sharing about it, like on your stories, sharing pictures about it. I make my girls do a boomerang at all of the end of our calls, which everybody feels totally awkward doing it, but it makes everybody laugh and it gets them kind of out of their comfort zone. And so we'll always share those at the end of the calls, but creating that community, that's something that you would want to be a part of, and then sharing about that and like inviting people to join in with you. I think that's a huge thing too, like letting people know what this community is like, because yes, there are 450,000 coaches out there that they could join in with, but you want to make what you're doing different or more special or more inviting to everybody out there. So just kind of like creating that fun atmosphere that people will want to join in with. And then, and also pretending like you're already at that point. I like typed up all these notes, sorry. But pretending like you're already at that point where you want to be. That's been a huge one too. Like some of my girls will come to me and they're like, okay, so I posted a question box and nobody asked any questions. Like, okay, that's fine. Just come up with your own questions and answer them. Like, who cares? Or they're like, well, no, I don't have any challengers. Like, I'm about to start this group, but nobody has signed up yet. I'm like, okay, who else knows that besides you? Nobody cares. Like, nobody will know that. You could say, anybody who's not in the business, like, you could say, I'm an Emerald coach, or you could say, I'm a 10-star diamond coach, and nobody knows the difference that's not in this business. So just kind of acting like, yes, acting like that team or that coach that you want to be and pretending that you're already there, already having that confidence, that will also draw people in to join you. And then the last one is just to dream big. So a lot of times we set goals for ourselves, or you may have like this vision in the back of your head, like, oh, I would love to be 10-star, but I just started out, there's no way I could do that. Like we kind of second guess ourselves when this vision pops into our head. So just dreaming bigger than you think that you can. So kind of like believing in yourself and setting bigger goals. Like let's say you set a goal this year, even if you're a brand new coach, if you set a goal for elite this year, what are you going to fall back to? You would still be premier. So setting those bigger goals, and even if you fall back a little bit, you're still going to hit something bigger than you would have before. And then start hosting your own calls, start building your team. Like even if you're not at that point, like you could have maybe one person signed up under you and then probably like a spouse or something. And who cares? You can start a call with that one person. When I started out, I signed up my husband, and then I had 2 of my good friends sign up. And then I ended up having one girl through Instagram sign up with me. And that was like in my first couple weeks as a coach. And I hosted a call, and it was like 2 of my best friends and this one other random girl, and she could only get on for like 2 seconds. But I still was like sharing, and I had this whole entire call planned. I don't think anybody's video was up the entire time. It was just me, but I did it and I shared about it, and I pretended like I already had this team and I was already leading this team. And then when I got off that call, I shared on Instagram, and I went on and said, oh my gosh, I just got off a team call with my girls. Like they were barely even listening to me, but I shared my information and I showed up to the call, So I feel like that is so, so huge. Like whether you're in the place you want to be or whether you're working to get there, start sharing about it. Like act like you're there, start building up your team, start sharing those things so that everybody else sees what you're doing, and then they want to join in with you. So that was my like all over the place 5 tips, but hopefully that's helpful. I know Stephanie was asking me about like working full time and with babies, and you guys, seriously, Miracle Mornings, it's worth that. I let my girls like try to set their own schedules for when they're going to work, obviously, but every single person that's like really trying to build goes back to doing everything in the morning because it's like game changing.
Yeah, that's literally when I have to work because obviously Charlotte wakes up and we are out the door for whatever. Luckily this year I was able to teach part-time, but like I know Meredith teaches full-time and like we're just all over the place. So it's like, oh, it's so nice to hear that it's either mornings or after they go to bed at night. And then even when you don't have kids, you have a ton of other stuff going. So, awesome. Cool. Do you guys have any questions for Dylan while we have her?
Yeah, feel free to ask away.
I just dropped it in the chat.
Oh, let me see. Staying in contact with your challengers. You sign up challengers and then how do you stay in touch with them? I do the challenge tracker app. So we'll do our groups in there. And then I reach out to my girls at the end of every week. So I'll send out an email to all my challengers at the end of every week. And then we do like weekly prizes for Transform 20 right now. I've been doing like chapter prizes. So like my girls just finished of round 2, just finished chapter 1. So I looked at who checked in every single day with their workouts. And I pulled a name for a winner that won a prize from that. But I check in with my challengers every single week. Like Sundays, they get an email from me just checking in. But I have a virtual gym that's on Facebook, but my girls have to complete a month-long group before they can get into the virtual gym.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just because then it's kind of like an incentive. So like when I start the group, I'm like, and after you finish this, you get to get added to our virtual gym. And then there I'll share like little workout challenges. Like we just did a March Madness challenge where I just shared like little workout challenges for a week. But just like little things, or like I did an alphabet challenge where they had to all spell their name out and then do like, it was like workout moves that went with it, but just like little challenges like that, and then give out prizes.
Cool. So you do like monthly in the challenge tracker app, and then that virtual gym is like year long, kind of like community.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We ran ours on Facebook as a virtual gym like year long, and then we would do like monthly challenges, but just this month we switched to the challenge tracker app because we were finding that engagement was pretty low on Facebook, and I feel like Facebook just things get lost. And I think this month so far it's doing a lot better being on the challenge tracker app, but I would love like that community piece to come back because I'm afraid once like the month drops, then you have to re-invite everybody again and, you know, obviously keep that engagement going, but that's a good way to do that.
See, and I love the app. Like I know there's a lot of coaches, like especially a lot of the top coaches who are like starting to veer toward Facebook groups. But again, like you were saying, to me, I feel like stuff gets lost. Like somebody would check in and I would like, I mean, even in our virtual gym, somebody logs something and I a lot of times will totally miss it till a couple of days later. I'm like, oh my gosh, you shared that you got your fruit punch energized and I didn't even see it. So I really like the app, and I also like that it tells me how many workouts people have logged, how many shakes people have logged. So like the end of each week, I post like a little graphic that's got like their tallies. I won't do the shake tally, but I do like their workout tally, and that's how I pick a name for a winner.
Cool.
So do you run more than one group at a time in the Challenger app, or you just say like right now, I've got 3 going right now, but you just...
So, yeah, I'll do a month-long group, but then with all of these like new programs that keep coming out where people have to buy separate access to them, then I'll do like a specific group for that. So like I had a Transform 20 test group, and now I've got round 2 going. but I also had a February group and a March group. So for anybody who's doing a different program besides that one that just came out, like I'm about to have an Ultimate Portion Fix group that's going to start, but then I'll also have a March and April group. And then I also have a group that's year long for my coaches where they all check in. And then for the daily check-ins that I'll post, it's like, did you do this work task? Did you do this work task? And they check in underneath that each day.
In the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's helpful to know. Cool.
So you use the challenge tracker app do you use it strictly for like the workouts and stuff? Or like say if you were running a free water challenge group, do you do it in there? Or do you run it on Facebook?
I would do it on Facebook. So the only ones that I'll do in the app are ones that are like Beachbody specific. But I'm not really big on doing the free trial for Beachbody only because to me it's like 50 extra steps for people. I think it's awesome that they can try out the workouts and everything through the free trial, but like I've had so many girls who have gone to sign up for the free trial and they're like, oh wait, but it's having me put my credit card information in. And even though I say it's not going to charge you, I promise, you've got this much time, I still like I may have 30 girls say they want to do the group and then I only end up with like 18 of them actually following through. And then it's a whole nother step to like, okay, now you're going to cancel this and you're going to upgrade and get a challenge pack and join in. So to me, I like running free groups that are totally separate from like actual Beachbody things. So like a water challenge or March Madness. I have a HIIT group that I'll do or like all different things like that. And I'll do them all on Facebook. So it's just like a sample case of kind of like what these groups can be and just something fun to get them into like the community aspect. And then at the end of it, transfer them into being a challenger and then put them on the app.
Do you find that you're getting your challengers and or coaches more from Facebook or more from Instagram?
Instagram. I don't work much on Facebook. Like I've got a like page that I forget to post on half the time, and most of Facebook is like sharing pictures of my kids and stuff like that. So I do a majority of my work on Instagram, just because I feel like to me there's a wider audience of people that I can connect with, and it's so much easier for me to reach out to people that way and see who's like looking at my stories, who's following me, who's liking my posts. Because the Facebook algorithms that there are now, I don't even fully understand. So I just don't even bother with it. Like I do my team stuff on there. We obviously have like a team page and a message thread and all that kind of stuff. But that's it for me for Facebook. And then I'll just post pictures of the kids.
So do you grow your Instagram organically or are you using like no, you do it all?
Mm-hmm. So I've got different like bloggers that are people that like I relate to, and I just go to see who's following them. I see who's liking their posts, and then I just make it a goal to add during the day. So like if I've got a little bit of time, I like go add 25 people, and then if I've got a little bit of time later, I'll go add 25 more people. But I do it like in 25 sections, because then if I do it 4 times a day, I just added 100 people.
That's yeah. I've tried Stim in the past, and it just got me like a bunch of random people from like random places, and I was like, yeah,
I tried one of those before, but I like being in control of it because I like picking who I'm following and like who my people are rather than like a ton of random people.
Yeah, awesome.
I don't really notice. I'll usually pick one of my stories. I just saw, do you invite people who have just viewed your story for the first time, or do you wait till they notice and have watched more than once? So I just invite, like I'll pick a story. So like if I posted all about a challenge group, then one of the stories where I shared about that challenge group, because I use that Unfold app to post like different graphics on my Instagram stories. And so Unfold. It's really good, and it's like you can just put words on it and you can do pictures and words, and they just look really nice and clean. So I'll go to one of those that has the most viewers, and I just scroll through. So if they saw that story, then they should have seen the groups that I'm sharing about. So when I reach out to them, I'll say, hey, I saw that you were watching my story when I'm sharing about my groups. Are you interested in joining in, or can I send you more info? Something like that. Something where it ends with a question. It's super easy to just say, no, I'm not interested, or super easy to say, yeah, send me more info. So
Awesome. Does anybody else have anything else?
When you send people info, so, yeah, I'm the one that talks in the group all the time. So,
no, I love it. I love it.
oh well. So when you say you're talking to somebody and you say, I'm going to send you the info, do you typically send that like in a Google Drive doc, or do you have something already typed up and send it out?
So I have everything. I used to have it just all typed in my notes on my phone, but now I have it all set as shortcuts, like the keyboard, whatever it's called, keyboard shortcuts or keyboard replacement. Yeah, text replacement. Like same thing for my hashtags too, but like I'll have it saved just, so all I have to do is type, like, if they're interested in joining a challenge group and they want more info, all I have to do is type challenge group, and then my whole blurb pops out, like, a challenge group is where and it's got the whole thing. Or, so basically what a coach is, and it's got that whole blurb, so that I don't have to type it out, because that's like a huge time saver for me, just being able to like quickly type that and send it.
Perfect.
I just had a question when you said that, and it blocked my mind. Something about that.
Do you run? Sorry, I'll go off of this while you think about that. So where you run your coach sneak peeks, like, we just moved to like a Google website so that it's like an ongoing thing, but do you kind of one like once? I always see that you post like, oh, once a month, like we're doing or whatever. So do you run them on Facebook, or how do you go about running those?
Yeah, we still do them on Facebook, but like if it's middle of the month and we're not doing a group right this second, like we just wrapped one up this week. So I'll do like information Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday through Sunday is enrollment. So then like Sunday, all those people that have enrolled, whether it's under me or under any of my girls, then we did like a drawing for a prize. I just love like doing drawings and prizes, obviously. But if it's like middle of the month, then my little blurb just has like a YouTube playlist attached to it with videos that are like frequently asked questions. So I'll say, here's a playlist that tells you more information, and then let me know if you have more questions or if you're ready to sign up. So
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Did you remember your question? No. All right.
Oh, sorry, I don't. Brain thing.
Awesome. Well, we don't want to take up too much of your night, but we do appreciate you jumping on.
No problem. No problem.
Sharing a little bit with us. But yeah, if anybody else doesn't have any other pressing questions.
Can I take a video of you guys doing a boomerang really quick?
Oh, of course.
So you can think about what you want to do. You can wave your hand or raise the roof or.
Wait, I can't see.
Oh gosh.
Old people problems.
Hi,
babe.
Dylan, will you share this with
Hey,
us so that we can post it as well?
Yeah, I will. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, just go.
That's super cute.
Yay!
I love it.
I had one time where I told my girls I was doing a boomerang, but I was really not doing it. I was taking a video. I was like, okay, go. So they're all like,
That is too funny.
Mine didn't work. I tried. It didn't work.
I'll share it.
I'll send it.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I would love to check out the Miracle Morning. So
Yeah, I'll send it to you and then you can.
awesome. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.